Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the K Swift Connect podcast. So, today we have a very special guest, and we are starting a new series where we interview African professionals based on the African continent for them to share their story with us and to tell us how they began either in their freelance journey or how they began in their programming journey. So, guys, today we have a very special guest. She goes by Chioma. She's based in Nigeria, and we are excited to listen to her story and listen to what she has to share with us. So, hi, Chioma.
Hello. Hello.
Chioma, if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, who is Chioma?
Okay, my name is Chioma Amanda Mmegwa. I am from Nigeria. I was born in the northern part of Nigeria, then I moved to the southern part, Lagos to be precise. I went to Redeemers University and I studied computer science before I transitioned into, complete programming. I'm from a family of seven. I have a twin sister and I have three younger brothers, and we all live here in Lagos. Yes,
Nice.
thank you.
And just curious, do you have the twin stuff? Because I know like twins, you have that special bond where you can talk to each other without anyone knowing. Do you have that as well?
Nope, we don't. We don't even look identical. We are unidentical twins.
Got it, got it. I had a few friends in the past where they looked identical and they could speak to each other for some reason, and we didn't understand what they were talking, but they could understand each other. And so,
Oh,
thank you for this
good.
introduction. And so, if you can just tell me a little bit about so before we move to the next question, can you just tell us what you do in a nutshell? So, what do you do currently?
Okay, currently I'm an iOS developer. I write Swift language. I build applications on your iPhones and iPads. Apple products basically. So yeah, that's what I do.
Good, good, good. So Chioma will let us know more about what she does in a few minutes. But before we continue, can you just tell me a little bit about your upbringing? So, how was your upbringing? So, and were your parents always supportive of your goals, right? Because I know as a young woman in an African society, it's kind of a little bit different. So, can you just tell us a little bit about your upbringing and who was Chioma when she was a little kid?
Okay, as a little kid, I was trained basically by my mom because my dad had to go to work. But I know as a child they were very interested in our education. They were present in all the meetings that we had to, all the parents meetings and all the events that they had to attend. They were very supportive. As a child, I think I had my parents by my side all the time. They're like very, very supportive of anything I want to do and everything I've ever wanted to do. They're very supportive. Yeah. As a child, like I said, I grew up in the north, so I was able to, I speak Hausa a bit, because that's what we speak in the north here. So I was able to have lots of friends from the northern side, eastern side, and I played a lot. I played a whole lot as a child, and I had a lot of friends. Yeah.
That's really good to hear. I kind of see that supportive environment, whereby they were very supportive of your education. That kind of help shape you into the person you are today. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And as a kid, were you interested in, because a lot of programmers, maybe as a kid, they were very interested in in like programming or in like robots and so more a lot of tech stuff. Like as a kid, were you that kind of girl who was always interested in like maybe programming, computers, technology in general?
As a kid, the what I wanted to be an astronaut. As a kid, I'd always tell my dad, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an astronaut. And then if there was anything spoiled in the house, anything electronic gadgets, I always like try to, want to fix it. I was always the person that they would call, oh, Chioma, something has spoiled. Come and see if you can fix it and all that. So, and mathematics was my best subject as well. So, yeah, as a kid, I think I've always been interested, in like gadgets and electronics and just maths and tech stuff. Yeah.
Guy, that's interesting. You said you wanted to be an astronaut because I myself wanted to be an astronaut, and I think all kids, a majority of kids, want to be astronauts because like when you're a kid, you see people going to space, you see all the cartoons, the movies. It's just fascinating, right? You want to be an astronaut, but as you grow up, you start taking physics, you realize that that's not an easy subject, right? So it's more
I told
difficult.
you.
Exactly. Guys, you have experience in real estate, in marketing, and also in building apps and web design. So how did you transition? Because that's kind of like a big transition from moving from real estate to building iOS apps. So how did you transition from real estate to building iOS apps?
Okay, I first started with web design. I was teaching myself online. I was taking online courses, and then you know how it is in African countries where like you can't really get jobs easily. So I was able to land a job in the real estate industry. So I thought, why not? I could just, while I'm learning by the side, I could also earn money. So I went into real estate where I was selling lands and property. And then after a while, I decided, okay, there was a boot camp that came up, and I was like, oh, I should go for this boot camp. So I went for the boot camp. It was a boot camp where there's a company called Decathlon that trains software developers here in Nigeria. It gives them accommodation, the tools they need to, do what they have to do, and internet, feeding. We just give them the whole package so they can get comfortable while learning. So I was among the people out of I think like was it like 10,000 or so. I was among like the 70 people that got in, and yeah, my journey for iOS development started from there, and so here I am now.
Man, congratulations! Out of close to 10,000 people, 70 got in and you were among. So that means you were really good. So is it like a test? So to get in the boot camp, is it like a test you have to take?
Okay, to get there was a first stage which was we had to take a test first on web development. So, since I was already like studying that, it was a bit easy for me compared to people that maybe haven't started at all. So I passed the test, and then there was an interview stage. And I passed that, and then we were invited to come to a boot camp. That was for 2 weeks. So I went through the bootcamp actually, and I reached the final stage. Then I didn't make it through. I was on probation, so I decided to continue with my life. And then another opportunity came for me, and it was for female in tech. So I went in with that second batch, and that was when I got in fully. And this time around, it was a 6 month program. So yeah, we did another test, of course, I passed. We did another interview, I passed. We did another test again on Python, I passed that as well. And then I got into the program. I'm finished now. So, yeah.
Oh wow, that's I mean, out of 10,000 people, 70 accepted. So that means you're like an elite in the whole group. That's really amazing. I mean, congratulations to you again. Like, that's really
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you.
And and so the boot camp. So how it works is you get in the boot camp. They take care of you. They train you. They give you a stipend, and they also help you get a job at the end of the boot camp. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's how it works. And for those that are unable to get jobs, they employ them as well.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. And so you mentioned before you got into the boot camp, and why doing real estate, you were taking online classes in web design. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so what website or what tools for those who don't know? So what websites were you using to learn the web design online?
Okay, free code camp was very useful because they have a way of structuring step by step. So I used free code camp a lot, and then I got some courses on Udemy. I can send a link to you later. I got some courses on Udemy as well, so I was using that, but mostly free code camp. Yeah, that was what helped.
Got it. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I
Gotcha.
also got a
Uh,
mentor. I got a mentor. I got a
oh,
mentor,
how
a
did you find
lady.
the man? Mm-hmm.
I was lucky, I guess. I spoke to someone and she told me, oh, she knows someone that introduced her to her own mentor. She would talk to him for me. And then he spoke to someone else and she was like, okay, cool. She would mentor me for a while. So she mentored me for about 2 months and that really, really helped.
Oh, that's pretty nice. And she was based in Nigeria as well, or?
Yeah, she was based in Nigeria, but she's out of the country now. She's no longer here. So we had
Gotcha.
to, the whole movement, we had to like disconnect. But we still talk though. Yeah, she's been a huge help to me.
Got it. And so the mentor, you said you got in contact with her through someone. Is that correct?
Yeah, a friend.
Perfect. And so, guys, that's especially the power of relationships. So networking is key in everything. So she was able to get a mentor through someone she knew. So, and that brings me to my next question. So, I see you are very active on LinkedIn, and you have a huge community of people who support you on LinkedIn. And so if you were to give like best practice and tips to new LinkedIn users on how to be successful in using LinkedIn, what will you give what will be those tips?
Okay, my first advice would be to, in your personal description, I think you shouldn't be scared to talk about yourself. Like express yourself, your personality should come through. And then when you're adding your professional experience, be very detailed so that whoever is coming to your page will know exactly what it is you did in whatever company you worked at. So I think your profile is very important. And then you can also subscribe for LinkedIn Premium. They have like lots of features, they have online classes you can take and you can also take courses on LinkedIn where you can get certified as well. So yeah. And then follow people, connect with people. I don't know why people don't like connecting. I don't know what they're holding the connection for. But connect to as many people as you can. And you don't know who knows, Bill Gates might follow you.
You never know, exactly, and that's the beauty of
I
LinkedIn.
know.
And I saw your LinkedIn profile. It was your current job you do. It was said LinkedIn helped you get the job. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so, if you can explain to us how did LinkedIn help you get that job, your job you have right now?
Okay, on LinkedIn, I'm sure you know there's a jobs platform where you can look for jobs, you can filter out jobs, you can specify exactly what it is you're looking for. So that's what I did. I was looking for an iOS developer position here in Nigeria, and I subscribed for the whole jobs. I asked for notifications, and then a notification came in that Means was looking for iOS developers, and so I applied for the job and I did the interview and I did the coding challenge as well and I got in. So yeah, LinkedIn basically gave me that job.
That's pretty good, because you know, a lot of, I mean, I hear this stuff with a lot of Africans, right? That it's difficult to get a job if you don't know somebody, but that's really interesting and also very good that with LinkedIn, you were just able to apply for a job, and because you had the right skills, you were able to get that job. So that brings me, so do you believe any young African who is a professional, maybe still in college, that is not on LinkedIn, do you believe they're missing out on a lot of opportunities?
I do, especially if you're a professional and your network is on LinkedIn. Like the people you want to see you are on LinkedIn. There are other social media platforms, but I don't think they're as professional base as LinkedIn is. I think when you come on LinkedIn, you meet lots of people in your field, people that are interested in what you actually do. So I think they're missing out on a lot, and they should, come on LinkedIn ASAP.
Guys, you hear that? So guys, get on LinkedIn. And I myself, I use LinkedIn very frequently. And I can tell you, sometimes not even about the job, it's like it's just about the network, right? You meet like-minded people, which is something
Yeah,
that it's very important to have your network.
yeah,
And so that brings us to Code with Lima. So you have a YouTube channel, that's correct?
yes.
And so, if you can tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, what is your YouTube channel all about?
Okay, on Code with Lima, I am trying to, bring more people into iOS development, especially here in Nigeria. The market for iOS developers is really like the developers are not as much as other developers. We're really numbered, and I think more people should come into this space. So I decided to start a YouTube channel, not only because I wanted to bring more people in, but because I believe that by teaching other people, I get to like learn more. Because I don't think you can ever learn enough. And while I'm teaching, obviously I'll see things I missed out on when I was, learning. So yeah, that's like the main reason I'm starting the YouTube channel. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel anyway, so this is like the perfect opportunity for me.
That's perfect. And you mentioned that a lot of people are not don't get into iOS development in general. But why will you think that? Why do you think a lot of people don't want to learn iOS development or are not interested in it?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that.
So you mentioned that a lot of people that you want to bring a lot of people into iOS development. So why do you think that a lot of people are not into iOS development, or there are not a lot of iOS developers in Nigeria, for example?
I think the main factor is because of the, the infrastructure, the equipment to use. People, to get an Apple laptop, a MacBook, is quite expensive. It's really, really expensive. So, people back out on learning iOS development because they don't have the laptop to use to write the language. So on my YouTube channel, for my second episode, I'm going to be showing people how they can download Xcode on their Windows laptop, so they can also, come into iOS development. Yeah, that's the plan.
That's pretty good. I mean, so guys, you should check out our YouTube channel, guys. The description to link to our YouTube channel is in the description below. So you should definitely go check that out. And that's very wonderful because I myself, right, sometimes I search for iOS developers on the African continent, and it's so difficult. Like, there are not a lot of them. And I think you're right because it's kind of expensive to own a MacBook. But now there are tools, right? You don't need to own a MacBook to build iOS apps. So, and I'm happy and I'm glad that you're working to help a lot of Africans get into iOS app development. And
Thank you.
so, just curious, your classes. I mean, so you also have a YouTube channel. Do you plan on moving to a subscription base where people are going to pay to take classes in iOS development? Do you plan on doing that?
Right now, I don't plan on doing that. I just, let's see how it goes. I just want to teach for now, and then I'll see how it goes in the future.
That's pretty good. Sure. And so, why Code with Lima? So, what does that mean? What does the name Code with Lima stand for?
Okay. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, I grew up in the north, and I was given the name Halima, right? So, and I really like the name. So anytime I don't know why, but I'm always like associating Lima with the whole coding thing. It sounds cool, doesn't it? Lima. Mm. So yeah, that's how I got about code with Lima. what do you mean, basically?
Oh no, that's it's always good to know the meaning behind the name of maybe a channel. Like we have the K Swift Connect podcast. What the K stands for Kemet, and it's just always good to know the meaning behind the name of a YouTube channel or a product or a website. And so another question for you. So you seem like a very smart girl, right? Like just speaking to you, being admitted into a boot camp out of 10,000 people, you are among the 70 who were chosen. You seem like a very smart girl. So I want to know, so in school, in college, or in high school, or when you were in secondary school, were you an A student? Were you the best of your class? Were you a bright student?
Yeah, I
Good.
was.
So
Yeah, specifically, yes, I was. I was also the head girl of my secondary school. So, yeah.
and so exactly. And cause it's very difficult to find women in programming. So you join an elite group, right, of African women in programming. And so how does that make you feel? Do you think that you are the next person to hold the baton and bring more women into programming? Is that part of your goals as well?
Yes, I hope so. Yes. I and because in the whole program we're only three female iOS developers out of eight iOS developers. So I and the other two girls we want to start up something where we can get more female into iOS development. We're still at the beginning stages, but we plan to, start up something. We don't know how we want to go about it yet. We're not professionals like in the whole business, whatever, but we do want to bring in more girls, more females into iOS development. So hopefully I can help some other people um, come in as well. Yeah.
And you don't need, and that's it. Just start from somewhere. Just start. Everything will just fall into place once you start. Cause and a lot of people, they spend a lot of time thinking about how to start, but I think sometimes it's just good just to start. Once you start, things will just fall into place
Yes,
naturally. And
I totally
and so
agree.
no,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. Yeah, I mean, but really, congratulations on that, because that's very amazing, especially iOS app development. It's not easy, and you're a female, a woman in Nigeria. You are kind of like a trailblazer, right? So that's really kudos to you, and really congratulations. For all those listening, you know, if you need any help to learn how to code with iOS, you can go follow Code with Lima on YouTube, subscribe to her channel, and she will give you tips on how to build an iOS app, on how to start your journey as an iOS programmer. So, just another question. You mentioned freelancing. Do you still freelance right now, or you stopped freelancing?
I stopped when I started iOS development. I stopped. I just wanted to focus on learning, and then the YouTube channel came up as well. So I don't have as much time, but I'm looking into freelancing again. So that is something I plan to do when I'm fully settled. Yeah.
And so a lot of people, I mean, a lot of freelancers that I know, a lot of them they have problems with managing their time, right? So some of them might be going to school, some of them might be working and freelancing on this part time. So how do you manage your time, right? So I know you were freelancing and you were doing real estate at the same time. So how were you able to manage your time in order to deliver like your client jobs on time and communicate effectively to them, and at the same time just be professional about the whole situation?
Okay. The way I did it was I do my real estate job during the day and I code at night. So that was basically what I was doing. But I was still frugal enough to keep time to sleep and rest. But I was mainly coding at night and going to work during the day.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you were using your nighttime, and were you having and the communication? So when you maybe if you fall behind on a project, so how did you do that? Were you like communicating effectively with the client about being behind on the project? Or
Yeah, the thing is, when you know you're not going to be able to deliver, I think it's better if you reach out and explain like the circumstances and like what is happening. Because most people actually understand and they can actually reason with you, opposed to when you don't deliver and you don't say anything about it. I think that's really bad. So even if I
and
know I'm not going to deliver, I try to make an excuse on time, so I won't give the person false hope.
no, definitely. I mean, that's really something because it's better, as you said, a lot of people understand it's better to communicate. You can deliver than just disappear or just communicate at your own leisure. So that's pretty big. And so, guys, if you listen to this, take this advice seriously, guys. So, we're trying to change the narrative about African freelancers and African professionals. And so, these are good tips. So, Chioma, she has been there, done that, and she's giving you guys advice on how to be better as a freelancer and how to just be professional, and just how to be professional with your job. And so, Chioma, this brings us to one of our last questions. So, for any girl out there watching, or for anyone watching, right? So, and maybe they want to start building iOS development, or maybe start learning something new, or maybe start a YouTube channel, or start a business, what advice will you give them? Do you think there are limitations to what you can achieve, or do you think the sky is the limit, right? Do you think it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter the skin of the color of your skin, it doesn't matter your gender? Do you believe that if you put your heart into something, you work hard, you're going to be successful? And what advice can you give to our listeners who are trying to do what you did?
Okay. The first thing I would say is make a step. Start. Just make a step. And then stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. That kills like lots of dreams. You say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, but then you never do it. So I think the advice I have is actually start, make the first step, and then, like you said, other steps to follow. Yeah, so just start, it's not going to be easy. No one says it's going to be easy. There are actually limitations, but don't let the limitations stop you, regardless. Just, stay on your own path and just little wins, and then, you climb to the top.
So, guys, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. So just take that first step, and eventually you will reach where you want to reach. And so Chioma, for those who want to get in contact with you, who want to connect with you, how can they find you online?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, my full name, Chioma Amanda Mmegwa. You can find me on IG, Lima Codes. You can also find me on Twitter, Amanda Mmegwa. And I can give you my email so you can also post it somewhere, but you can find me, you can email me at halimamegwa@gmail.com as well. Yeah. And don't forget my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Code with Lima. Thank you.
So, guys, please like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it with all your contacts, because this is something big, right? This is an African building, teaching you guys how to code in iOS. So, share the news. Thank you very much, Chioma. Thank you for coming to our podcast and sharing your story and giving us tips as well on how to be successful, both using LinkedIn and how to start for those who are interested in starting programming iOS on how to start that. So thank you very much. And guys, I shall talk to you guys next week. Again, if you like our YouTube channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification button for new episodes we post every Friday. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.